Hi, it's Patrick Brewer here from the Model FA. Today I'm joined by Aaron Hattenback, a financial advisor up in the San Francisco area. Aaron left the wirehouse a few years ago, started his own independent practice. I want to say it was about 2 years ago now. And I wanted to bring Aaron on to talk about a question that a lot of advisors have. How complicated it is to start a business in our industry. What are some landmines that you should try and avoid, and what are some things that you should really double down on? So Aaron, starting your practice 2 years ago or so, correct me if I'm wrong on the time frame, what was going through your mind? What are some things that you would wanted to avoid? What are some things that you would have doubled down on knowing what you know now?
So I'm a first-time entrepreneur, right? So I had no precedent. I'd never started a business before. I'd certainly done my research. I'd been a practitioner in the industry for about 6 years. So I felt like I had the core competency to advise other people. And I'd been trained to be a financial advisor.
Yep.
Was never trained on how to start a business. So it is at first pretty daunting. But what I reminded myself was, as long as I am making progress each and every day and not failing and not throwing in the towel, eventually I'm going to hit my stride. It's just kind of like doing these videos.
Yeah,
quite
momentum,
frankly.
right?
You build momentum, you build comfortability, you see what works, you see what doesn't work, and you abandon it. And eventually, you start to find your way. And it takes some time. And I think that the reason why most advisors don't do this is that they're afraid of compliance. They're afraid of the unknown. But, it's like anything in life. You start a family and you have a kid for the first time. You don't know how to raise a kid. You can read about it, but there's no simulation for the real thing. So I think that the one skill that I had was just a lack of fear and this ability to just say, like, worst case scenario, I'm not going to end up on the streets. Yep. I'm gonna land on my feet somehow, some way.
Okay. What were some things that you did that you would have maybe not done if you could have a do-over? So what are some of those things where you had to kind of fail forward?
So I would say committing resources to networking in a way that was not focused. Not focusing on my low-hanging fruit and my COIs that I'd built up over the previous 6 years. Really just throwing a bunch of darts at the board and hoping that one is going to hit the bullseye. And forgetting what I'm good at, which is building rapport with people and being genuine and authentic. And when I care about something, feeling like I am one of the best at that particular skill.
What about some of the things that you did well, particularly well, that you would have doubled down on a little earlier, had you known that it was going to work to the degree that it did?
Well, failing to plan is planning to fail. Mm-hmm. So I still think you can't impulsively say, well, I hate being where I'm at and I'm going to go leave and I'm going to call my clients and tell them why it's so much better now that I've left that firm.
Yeah, for sure.
Bad idea. And you also just want to avoid bashing the previous institution too. It doesn't look good. Like, pretend you are the client, right? And I'm saying to you, hey, Patrick, come join my new firm. My old firm was crappy. We had so many conflicts of interest. You were overpaying for the service. You would say, well, Aaron, why did you sell me on this?
Yeah.
Why would you put me in a situation?
Both your integrity and trust because you didn't do your due diligence potentially.
Right. So, yeah, I think, quite frankly, what I did really well was communicate effectively with my clients that I wanted to retain in a compliant manner, of course.
For sure.
And not rushing it. And so saying, like, I'm confident enough that these families that I've been working with are going to join me, some of which I'd never met in person before. But they're going to join me because I'm not going to call them emotionally, pleading for them to work with me. I'm going to compose a overall strategy, think this through, and poke holes in it, and figure out what does my client want to hear, and what can I deliver to them. And that's what I did. And it took time. It took a lot of research. I could have started this practice 5 years ago.
Yep.
Wouldn't have been ready.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Thank you for sharing. If you found this conversation helpful, make sure you check out www.modelfa.com. You can hear from Aaron, you can hear from me, and other better looking, smarter people on www.modelfa.com. We've got blogs, we got videos, we've got podcasts, resources, programs, pretty much anything that you want to get your hands on to learn about how to grow and scale your advisory practice. Check us out soon. Take care.